12th night tradition.
So what's your cooking on the table?
Alcoholic cider or wine that's mulled with spices. And the tradition was, especially on 12th night, they would go wassailing, and so you could do this a couple different ways. It could be the what we think of like caroling. So they would go door to door with the wassail bowl, and that would be passed around and everyone drinks out of it, and you drink to the health of whoever you're toasting, and then you sing carols. There's also a tradition where they would go out into the apple orchards, and this is one of those examples that would happen in a bit more rural areas that harkens back to more pagan traditions. So they would take a Yule cake, or it's sort of like a cookie, and they would soak it in wassail, and they would put that at the base of the apple tree, and then they would pour some more wassail on it, and then the men would browbeat the trees, so like hit them with sticks and shoot at them, but with blanks. And so they're giving honor to the trees, but they're also threatening them if they don't produce next year. So it's a fertility thing, and it's also a threat, and it ends with the threat of chopping the tree down. They kind of show it an axe, and this will be what happens to you.
Over to the 1860s, you'll see more of what we consider Christmas trees and various decorations there that you wouldn't have seen during the colonial period.
I think so.
The French and the Americans. So the easier stuff to make off with, like the larger animals, like the cattle and the pigs, would be a lot more scarce. So they're depending a lot more on poultry, which is a little less easy to catch and easier to grow, and also a lot of wild game, ducks, geese, deer. But there's much to be happy about.
So is it port that you're drinking, or?
Port is one of the types of wines that would have been drunk. Port is a fortified wine, meaning they add extra alcohol to it, along with Madeira. And Port and Madeira are some of the two favorite wines because they're very strong, but also they're very durable. They travel well, especially Madeira travels well. It's not as fragile wine. They're drinking also, a popular wine is claret. And claret is a French red blend, a Bordeaux, basically. Also, there are some homegrown wines, like blackberry wines and other kinds of berry wines that are being made. Cider is being made quite a bit in now the states, no longer colonies, but states, and and beer as well. Yorktown's has a big brewery there. Of course, after the battle, there's not anything left of it. But and also families do their own brewing as well. So wine would have been rather expensive. Normally, especially at that time, it would be extra expensive. It's about 6 shillings a bottle normally, which is, basically like a silver dollar almost. I'll show you, a shilling is, so that's so 6 of those silver coins, which is almost one of these Spanish dollars for a bottle of wine. And it takes you a while to earn. That's not something that you're throwing one of these down every day if you're a working class person. You have to be wealthy. Now, that same amount of money, can buy you a gallon of beer or cider.
That's
or actually
hard,
much less
hard
than that.
cider.
Yeah, about two shillings will buy you a gallon of beer or cider.